Today we are going to be talking about the combo box control. So drag and drop your combo box onto the WinForms. So out of the box, the combo box has an icon to the right which shows that it is a combo box, not a text box. Some may confuse this with the text box. So out of the box we did put a chevron down icon to show that there are items that can be selected. So where can you use a combo box, or what is a combo box? Well, it's a control that allows you to put items in a drop down list, and only one selectable item can be selected by the user. For example, I have a list of options here, and I'd like to copy this list of options, and let's put this list of options in the items list. So let's look for the data category, then we add items to the combo box. Right, so items have been added in the combo box. We can run the application and let's see the items that we have added. They are the items, and each item that is selected is shown as the first index right there. The index of the item that is selected is shown right there, and when you show the drop down you see the selected item. Right, so what are some features that we have that we can use that come with this combo box control in the framework? Well, let's see some of the features that we can use. Let's go to the properties and let's preview some of the features. The combo box allows us to manipulate the border radius, but we can set the border radius to auto rounded corners. The border radius will be automatically updated, and as you can see, it is radial or circular edges. We can increase the border size or border thickness so that you can see this further. Let's change to 2. There you go. And let's change the border color so that we can see better. We can put black. Now we can see that it's no longer a square combo box but a radial combo box. So you can toggle this setting using the auto rounded corners, and the border radius is automatically computed, or you can manually put the radius, let's say 4. Now it's squarish but with curved edges. Maybe to make it more pronounced, let's try 6. There you can see. So in addition to auto rounded corners, you can customize the border radius as well, and you can change the border radius. We have several options, from dash, we can put dot, dash dot, and so forth, and you can see the styling that is happening there, a very good styling. So this theming or styling features allows you to match the combo box control with your overall look and feel of your application. We can also change the fill color to any color, for example gray or dark gray, or any color including white. But how is it that we cannot see any items right now even though we've added them? Because we have the start index feature. By default it starts on nothing, which is -1, which means at index -1 there is no item, so you cannot see anything. What if you want the user to see the very first item in the combo box? Just change from index -1 to index 0 and press enter. Now we can see option number 1 is already shown. That will be the start index, and we can change up to any position, option number 4 or index number 4, we see option number 5. Index number 2, we see option number 3. Remember, indexing starts at 0. There is a catch. If you have 5 items, remember that the start index abides by the number of items in your selection. So remember that you don't have to run out of index by referencing an item that is out of the scope of the entire list. If you have 5 items, you cannot target index that is at number 6, for example, because there is no item there. You cannot also target number 5 because the index starts at 0. So index number 0 is the very first option in the list. And when we have 5 options, index number 4 becomes the 5th or last option. So remember that you don't have to run out of index exception, or the referenced item is out of bounds with the number of items in the list. By default, the control starts at index number -1, which is a blank option or blank value. And when we change to index number 1, we can see the first option showing right there. So this is good really when you want to style the appearance of the items. Then you change to index number -1, which is the very first position, so that the user can now interact with the control. What else can we style? We can style the alignment of the text. As you can see, we can align it to the right, to the center, or to the left, and we can change also the offset or padding of the text along the y-axis and the x-axis, and we can set, for example, 30, and now the item will be shown right there. So this is the item of the shown or selected index, not of the drop-down lists, as we can see right there. The offset or paddings apply to the selected item only, not items on the drop-down list. So this is something we can remember as well. There are some features that allows us to customize the control when it is in disabled state, when it is in enabled state, focused state, and so forth. Here, if you look at the hover state, we can change the border color to black, for example, and we can also change the fill color to black, and we can also change the fore color to white. Let's change the auto rounded corners property to false, and let's duplicate the control. And we'd like to see how the hover effect will show when we have 2 controls. So let's put them side by side and let's see what we get. Let's save and let's run the project. We give Visual Studio a moment to build and run, and we'll see. So when we hover, as you can see, now the hover effects or properties are shown. These are shown when we hover, right? As you can see right there. When the item is focused, the hover will not be applied, but when it is not focused, the hover will apply. So when you click out of the application, now all items are vacant to receive the focus property. Now you can hover any control that you have right there. So we can style how we want our control to appear when the cursor is over the control, or when the user hovers over the control. So when you go to the hover state, it's a category which contains a group of controls, including toggling or applying appropriate font if you wish to do so. You can also change the appearance of the items. Let's try to put a background of black, and we can try to put a selected background. Let's try to change this to a different color and selected for color. Let's try to put this white. We'd like to see how this works. Let's run the project and give Visual Studio a moment to build. Now you can see the background is black and the selected item is applied a red background, a shade of red and a faux color of white, just like the settings that we have applied. So these features allow you to apply appropriate theming to suit the overall feel and appearance of your application. We've made them extensively and they are available as a group or set of features. We can also change the style of the control. We can make it material style. Now you can see the difference between a default style and also a material style. So you can change also the fill color of the control so that it matches the back of the parent. For example, we can change the back color of the parent to white. Now we can see the control, how it is appearing. So this theming allows you to put maximum customization on the control to suit your needs. Remember that you can change the text transform property as well. You can make the text uppercase, lowercase, or default style, which applies the default formatting that is on the default text property available in the entire framework. So remember that you can put alignment, you can offset the text or put some padding around the text, and also you can change the transform. What if the control is disabled? We have a group of controls or features that allow you to apply to the control. Here under the focused state, you can put values when the control is in focused state, but the disabled state allows you now to change almost anything. You can change the border color, you can also change the fill color, you can even change the faux color or the font when the control is disabled. So let's try to see how it will appear when disabled. Let's run the project and see. We give Visual Studio a moment to build, save the changes and run. Now as you can see, I cannot even select because the control is disabled, and we have provided options that should be applied when the control is in disabled state. A shade of gray for the background, a shade of gray for the foreground. Now the control is in disabled state. So I invite you, please guys, to go ahead and try to play around with this amazing control. When you want to present a list of options and you want only one selectable option, you can choose to use this control, the combo box control. If you want a radial style, you can change the auto radius corners to true, and the control will auto compute the border radius. Or you can change the computed border radius to any value that you want, so that the theme and feel can suit the overall feel of your entire application. So these are some of the features that we have, and please keep updated as we are going to be adding more features, selecting more than one item, and so forth. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.